Are you new to Pilates? If so, this is the perfect workout for you. This is a beginner Pilates workout. My name is Zola. Let's get started. We will start seated, feet flat on your mat, lightly grabbing behind your thighs, sitting up really tall, lifting out of your low back, your best posture here. I'm lightly holding behind my thighs. I start to round back. So these are called your half roll backs. I'm thinking of the waistband of my pants reaching to the mat behind me. Maybe my arms straighten all the way out. Maybe they don't. You might feel a little bit of shakes in your core. And from here, dive your head to your knees, rounding forward. And then once you're all the way up, you sit up tall again at the top. Again, moving from the waistband of your pants, not the upper back. Curl the tailbone under. Start to reach the arms. Maybe they lengthen all the way, maybe they don't. Mine are going to stay a little bit bent. From here, dive the head forward. I'm scooping the belly into my spine and sitting up tall. My feet stay heavy on the mat, so make sure they don't start floating up off of the mat. Rounding back. Good. Dive the head to the knees, rounding forward and sitting up. Maybe you can try a few with your arms reaching long. So again, curling the tailbone under, rounding back. You might feel the shakes a little bit, and then bring yourself right back up, forehead to knees, sitting up tall at the top. Let's do 2 more of those. Curling the tailbone under, reaching the waistband of my pants towards the mat, and then rounding up. Sit up tall. One more time. Curl the tailbone under. Feet are heavy into the mat. Roll yourself up. Sit up tall. And for this last one, we come all the way down to the floor. Good. Once you're here, you can center yourself on your mat. Keep your knees bent and your feet flat, but keep your arms pressing down into the mat, reaching nice and long. Now, can you do that without lifting your back ribs off of the mat? Think of your back ribs being very heavy. Push them down. From here, we lift the back of the head and start to slide the hands forward, keeping them on the mat. That way you know you're reaching with long arms. Now come back down. The hands will slide back where they started. Again, lift the back of the head. This is called a nod and a curl. And the more I lift up, the more I push my belly button down to the floor and come down. You inhale to prepare. You exhale to come up. Use that deep breath to find those deep abdominals. You inhale to come down. 2 more of those. Feel the shoulders pull down the back. Lift the back of the head. Reach the arms long. And roll it down. 1 more time. Lift the back of the head. Reach the arms. Maybe you lift the arms 2 inches off the floor and hold for 3. You hold for 2. Hold for 1 and bring everything back down. Now, bringing the legs up to a turned out tabletop position. So my knees are stacked right over the hips. I'm going to keep my heels glued together, but open the thighs the width of the shoulder. So I have like a little diamond shape in my legs. From here, we go into our toe taps. So I'm taking my right toes down to the floor, but I'm thinking of my right thigh bone going away from the body, and then bringing the heels back together at the top. So for your toe taps, we're going for spinal stability and pelvic stability here. So as my toes reach down to the floor, I'm not letting the pelvis go with it like I just did there. So I'm keeping a stable pelvis. You can even put your hands on your hip bones as you tap the toes down. And again, you're thinking of the thigh bone going away from the body and the thigh bone coming back in towards the body. Keep going. I'm on the left side now. You inhale as the leg comes up. You exhale as the leg comes down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Let's do 1 more time each side. Tap the right toes down and tap the left toes down. Now you either stay here or we go for a bigger challenge. Remember that nod and curl we just did, lifting the chest up, reaching the arms off of the floor, keeping the arms long. Tap the toes and lift it back up. And again, we're keeping the hips and the pelvis from rocking back and forth. As your thigh bone goes away from the body, you'll feel a lot more fire in the core, in your center. Good, let's do one more time each side, right and left. And then let the head come down and let your feet come down for a second. Maybe you windshield wiper those knees side to side, take a little stretch. And then we go for a bigger challenge here. So find that turned out tabletop position, nod and curl. So lift the back of the head, reach the arms even longer. Can you take both legs down and both legs up? So for me, I can only go about halfway down before I feel my pelvis start to move and my low back start to lift off of the mat. So I'm only going to go a little bit down and a little bit up. Let's do 2 more of these. Inhale down. Exhale deep in the belly to pull those thigh bones in toward the chest. One more time. Inhale down. And exhale up. Beautiful. Bend your knees and rest your head. I like to take a little neck stretch looking side to side whenever I do abdominals. Good. From here, let's do the 100, the quintessential Pilates exercise. So starting with the legs in a tabletop position, this time the inner thighs are hugging together. I'm pointing my toes, but you can do whatever you want with your feet, point or flex. Stretch the arms up to the sky this time. Inhale deeply. Exhale, press your arms down, reach them long, and curl the chest off of the mat. You can also do this with the head down. I'm going to start pumping my arms up and down here. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale and exhale. Now I'm feeling okay here. I'm going to stretch my legs to a high diagonal with the heels together and the toes apart. That way I can wrap my outer thighs around and continue the pumps. Continue the pumps. Good. My heels are firmly pressing together. My arms are pumping really large. So between the knee and the hip, that's the height of my pumps. Maybe the legs can go a little bit lower. I haven't counted. Let's do one more breath. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bend your knees and rest your head. Beautiful. The 100 never gets easier no matter how long you've been doing it. Okay, let's do single leg circles. So stretch your legs long on the mat. Bring your right knee to your chest. Grab behind that leg and stretch that leg up to the ceiling. Let's do a few stretches here. Why not? We're already in the position. Good, so I'm just stretching the leg and bending the knee, trying my best to keep the thigh bone in the same place. What normally happens is you start to stretch the leg and that thigh bone leaves the center of the body. Try to keep it close to the center of the body as you lift. Good, one more time, stretch and hold. Now let's just place the arms down by your sides. Now if you're here and you feel like there's too big of a stretch, take that left foot, put it flat on the mat. It gives you a little bit more space in the hips. I'm going to keep my left leg straight. Flex that left foot if your left leg is straight. Point the toes that are up to the sky and gently turn the leg out. That way I can drop the hip. Start to cross the leg over the midline, down, around, and up. So my right leg goes to the left, down, around, and up. I'm going for stability in the rest of the body as this leg makes these big circles. 2 more. Over, down, around, and up. 1 more time. Remember those back ribs staying heavy into the mat. Reverse your circles. Take it out to the right, down, across the body, and up. 4 more. Inhale. Exhale. Nice and dynamic. We stop at the top every time. 2 more times. Really pressing the opposite heel or foot down into the mat. 1 more. Good. Let's bend that knee. Lower the leg carefully down on the mat. Same thing on the other side. Let's hug the knee into the chest, grabbing behind the thigh. And let's limber the leg up a little bit. Try your best. I know it's easier said than done to keep this thigh bone in the same place as you stretch and as you bend. Enjoy the stretch. 1 more time, let's stretch the leg up. Remember, these toes are pointed, turning the leg out slightly so I can drop the hip. I'm thinking of my waist being long on both sides. Start crossing the leg over the midline to the right, down, around, and up. Again, inhale, exhale. 3 more. 3, and 2, and 1. Pause at the top. Let's go the other way. Keep everything else in your body as steady and still as possible. My opposite leg is pushing down into the floor. 2 more. Out, down, around, and up. 1 more time. Out, down, around, and up. Good. Bend that knee. Let the leg come down onto the mat. Good. And then bring both of your knees to the chest. We are going to do single leg stretch, which is the first exercise in the abdominal series of 5. We're going to do 2 of the series of 5 today. So from here, you can always keep your head down. I'm going to cue lifting the chest, but you can do every exercise we do with the head down. So just know that, keep that in mind. So I'm lifting the chest with my knees into my chest, and I'm taking both of my hands on top of my right shin. Today I'm going to stack those palms. Stretch the opposite leg to a high diagonal, and then I just switch sides. And I switch, and switch. Pull the thigh in, and switch. Good, just keep on switching. As much as I reach one leg out, I pull that opposite knee into my chest. So I'm finding a 2-way stretch. Good, 4 and 3, 2 and 1. Bend both of the knees. Let your head come down if it was lifted. I like to take a little stretch in between. And we do single straight leg stretch next, which is scissors. So we start the same way, knees into the chest. If you're lifting your head today, curl your chest up. Right leg to the sky. Hold as high as you can on that leg. Left leg reaches out. So if you're only holding your thigh, that's totally okay. I pull the right leg twice, very gently. Pull, pull, and then I scissor switch the legs. Now, try to make sure you're not just pulling the leg, but you're deepening the abdominals to the spine. You're deepening, deepening, and switch. You pull, pull, and switch. Pull, pull. Try to keep the legs as straight as you can. If you have bent knees and you have to hold behind that thigh, totally fine. We all have to start somewhere. Pull, pull, switch. Let's do one more time, each side. Right, right, maybe lift a little higher, and left, left. Bend those knees to the chest, rest your head, and take another neck stretch. So I'm gonna grab behind my thighs to rock up to seated for spine stretch forward. Now, if you know that you're tight behind your hamstrings and tight in your low back, and sitting with your legs long in front of you is too tight, you have a few options. Either have the knees a little bit more bent, or find a pillow that you can sit on top of to prop yourself up so you can lift out of the low back. Another option is folding up your mat or whatever you're using and sitting on that, but that doesn't lift you up very high. But you have options. I'm going to stay on the floor. My legs are the width of the mat, and I'm reaching the arms forward, sitting up as tall as I can. Find your best posture. Inhale to sit up taller. And exhale, I'm diving my head down to the floor, making a capital C shape with my upper back and keeping my pelvis nice and stable. So I'm just bending the spine like a candy cane. I'm trying to keep the arms parallel to the floor today. So don't drop the arms and don't lift them higher, which would be hard, and then roll yourself up. As I roll down and up, I'm still pressing my heels into the mat. Remember the 2-way stretch we spoke of before? My fingertips are reaching forward as my ribs and waist pull back. So I'm reaching in 2 different directions. Inhale, roll up. One more time. Exhale, dive your head down to the floor between the knees. We're trying to get the top of the head down on the floor. It's not going to happen, but that's what we're reaching for. And then you inhale, roll up. And exhale, rest. So next we'll do an exercise called bird dog. So we're coming to a quadruped position or all fours. I have a sensitive knee, so what I'm going to do is fold up my mat so I have a little bit more cushion. You can also use a knee pad or a pillow, whatever you need. And I'm placing my hands down on the floor, making sure the wrists are under the shoulders, a straight line, right? And the knees are under the hips, another straight line. Now from here, it's very easy to dip the spine down toward the mat. What I'm gonna do is pull my ribs and my waist and my belly button up to the ceiling, not in a rounded position, but so my spine is flat like a table. From here, I stretch my right leg back. I'm flexing the foot and putting my toes down on the floor. Now, from here, I lift the leg up, but I try to lift with my seat and not because I'm bending my knees or arching my back. So tap the toes down again, scoop the belly in, and then just lift up, and then lower down, and then lift up, and then lower down. 3 more of these. Pushing the floor away. Don't let the chest start to sink down. We want nice, strong arms like pillars. Next one, we lift and hold. Now, can you stretch the opposite arm forward? So I have my right leg back, my left arm forward, reaching by my ear, palm facing in. Good. I'm just holding and balancing, trying my best to keep my hip bones and my shoulders pointing down toward the floor. Good. I put my hand down, I put my knee down. Good. We do the other side. So I stretch my left leg back. I make sure my spine is long like a table, pulling the belly button in. Front ribs are hugging the back ribs. I lift that leg up and I tap the toes down. I lift it up and I tap it down. This leg for me is a little bit tighter, so it might not go as high, and that's okay. I'm keeping weight equal in both of my hands. Lift the leg up and hold. Now I'm stretching that opposite right arm forward. This side is much harder for me. I'm wiggling all over the place, but that is what it's all about. And I'm holding for 3. Breathing and holding for 2. And one more time. Hand down, knee down, press back to a child's pose. Pilates can become very wristy. Take wrist breaks whenever you need. Maybe do little wrist circles. We do want to strengthen them. We don't want to live in the weakness, unless, of course, they're injured. But yeah, we want to strengthen these wrists, but take your stretch when you need them. So continuing, in your quadruped position, right leg reaches back, left arm reaches forward while my toes are still on the mat. Now from here, I'm lifting that right leg, finding the balance, and now I'm just pulsing up. And 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're holding on 10. Now I'm pointing my right toes, bending my knee into my chest, bringing my elbow to my knee, and stretching that leg out. 4 more of those. You pull it in, try to tap the elbow and the knee, and reach. 3 more. Bend and stretch. 2, and reach. 1 more. We bend and we stretch. Put that down. Good. Going to the other side. Keeping my left toes on the floor for now, reaching the right arm long. Now I'm finding the balance, lifting my left leg, and then I'm pulsing arm and leg. 9, 8. Try to keep your weight centered as best as you can. For 5, 4, 3, 2, hold it up on 1. Point through your left toes. Bring your elbow to your knees. I'm rounding the back a little bit for this, right? So I'm scooping the belly, rounding the spine to make space for that knee coming into the chest. 3 more of these. You bend and you stretch. 2, and stretch. 1 more. We bend and we stretch and put everything down. 1 more time. Push back to a child's pose. Take a deep breath here. Roll yourself up and maybe circle those wrists out. Beautiful job. Let's do bridging now. So, back onto your back. Arms are long by your sides. My legs are about the width of my hip bones, and I'm trying to keep the legs as parallel as possible. From here, we go into an articulated bridge. I'm curling the tailbone under first, and then lifting my spine off of that mat 1 bone at a time, keeping the arms pushing down, so we want wide collarbones. Now make sure we're not pushing with the upper back. Like we do in yoga, I'm not presenting the heart forward. I'm hugging the front ribs into the back ribs. Inhale here. Exhale, roll it down. Now if the articulation is not good for your spine, if you have osteoporosis, if you have hardware in your spine, just do a hinge bridge where you lift the hips straight up with control and straight down. But I'm going to continue to cue an articulated bridge, curling the tailbone under, rolling the hips up, up, up. Keep the front and back ribs hugging into each other, and then roll it down. If you're adding the breath, inhale here. Exhale, roll it up. Inhale at the top. Exhale, melt the sternum down, the ribs, the waist, the hips, and release that tailbone every time. One more time, roll it up, up, up. And roll it down, down, down. Now, if you want more of a challenge, reach those arms up, take out the articulation, and hinge those hips straight up and tap the hips down. If this is too much, if you need the support of the arms, just keep them down on the mat. But you can reach them up if you want that challenge. Keep going. Lift and lower. Take it up and down. 5 more. Lift 5. Feeling the backs of those thighs. 4. Lift for 3 and lower. Lift for 2 and lower. One more time. Let's do some pulses while we're here. Why not? Pulse up and up. So I'm lifting higher and higher and higher. Good. 6 and 5, 4 and 3, 2 and 1. Hips come down with control. The arms come down. And then again, hug those knees into the chest. Maybe rock a little bit from side to side to side. Alrighty, next, side kicks. My favorite, because it's my least favorite, my outer hips are so weak, so I need to be doing these every day. And if you hate them, it means you need to be doing them every day too. So I lined up the back of my body with the back of the mat. And let's do this. So have the whole body from feet to the crown of the head in one straight line. Squeeze those legs together. Lift both of your legs off of the mat. Take them to the front corner of the mat and then lower them down. So we know we're connected to our center. Now I'm in like a shallow L position. From here, just lift the top leg up and lower it down. Now, what tends to happen is people use their pelvis and they move their spine around to lift their legs. See how my waist is getting shorter as my leg lifts? I don't want to shorten this part of my waist. I want to reach the top leg so long that both sides of my waist are long, and none of that changes as I lift my leg. It's very intricate, if you will. Good, let's do 5 more here. 5. Still pulling the belly into the spine like I'm toasting a toaster with the upper body. 2 more times. 2. Now lift up on 1. Keep the leg hip height. I'm going to make small circles with that leg. Around and around. 2 more for 2 and 1. Other way for 5 and 4. Circle 3 and 2 and 1. Let's let the leg come down for a breath. We lift the leg back to hip height. I do my side kicks. So I kick the leg twice forward. Kick, kick, and then I kick it twice to the back. Now your job for me is to not shift the upper body to counter the weight of that leg. We want to move from our center and just let that leg move freely in the hip socket. Do 2 more sets. Front, front, and back, back. 1 more set. Front, front, and back, back. Good. Top leg over the bottom, lower that leg. Let's bend the knees. Good. So now I'm in a fetal position. Also, I didn't mention this. If your wrist is sensitive, you can always just rest your head and your bicep. That's always a nice position from here. Now, from here we do a clamshell position, opening the top knee and closing. Now, again, I'm keeping my top hip stable, so my leg isn't going to open so wide that my hips twist. Do 1 more here. Now I'm flexing the feet and doing a tabletop or fire hydrant leg lift where the ankle and the knee separate. Up and down. 3 more. 3 and 2. 1 more time. Up and down. Now I go knee to knee. That's internal rotation of the top hip. Toe to toe. External rotation. So I go internal and external. Knees and toes. For 8 and 7. Add some pace. And 5, 4. You should feel the burn right about now. 1 more set and close. Good. So let's do the other side. Let's get it over with. Shake out whatever you need to shake out. Get rid of that burn. Maybe pause the video if you need a moment. So remember, I'm lining my body up with the back edge of my mat, right? So I'm squeezing these legs together, pushing my top hand down to lift both legs and shift those legs forward to the front of the mat. So we have those nice long legs. We start with our leg lift up and down, up and down. Good. Lift. Breathe through it again. Make that adjustment. Try to reach the top leg longer than the bottom and keep both sides of your waist long. Let's do 3 more here. And 2. And 1. Lift the leg hip height and hold. We make circles around and around for 3 and 2 and 1. Other way, around and around. Good for 3 and 2 and 1. Let the leg rest for a second. We do our side kicks next. So lift that leg hip height. We do 2 kicks to the front and 2 kicks to the back. I go front, front, and I really use my seat to go back, back. I also get a stretch in the front of my hip. Front, front, and back, back. 2 more sets. Front, and squeeze, squeeze. 1 more. And back. Top leg over the bottom. Bend those knees. We start with our clamshell. So open up for 5 and close. Open for 4. Top hip is stable. It stays stacked right over the bottom. 2 more times. 2 and 1 more. Up and down. From here, flex the feet, tabletop or fire hydrant that leg open and close. For 4 and 3 and 2. 1 more time. Up and down. And then I'm pointing the toes again, knee to knee and toe to toe. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Breathe, let it burn. 3 and 2. Last set and rest. Whew. Let's lie on our backs for a second to take a little figure 4 stretch. Let's do left ankle over right knee, or whatever leg you did first. Give a stretch to that outer hip and that glute. I'm keeping the foot that is over top of the thigh, I'm keeping that foot flexed. And I'm gently threading the needle through the legs, grabbing behind my thigh and pulling. And then I switch sides. Okay, let's come up and do some swan. So, lie on your belly, stack your palms, place your forehead on your hands. Now, I'm going to try to keep my legs together. If that's completely uncomfortable for you, let the legs be hip width, maybe even wider if this is your first time doing back extension like this. Now, going into a little baby swan, my shoulders are pulling down my back, my legs are squeezing together, if you can. And then think of your tailbone reaching down towards your heels, or think in the front, the hip bones gently pulling up towards your hip bones. So I'm not sinking into the low back. Really important here. Now, from here, keeping my head glued to my hands, I just lift my chest off the mat and then come down. So I'm not dumping into my low back. I'm thinking of lengthening out to lift up, and then I keep going. Inhale up, exhale down. Keep going, up and down. Let's do 5 more here. We lift for 5 and lower for 4 and down. 3, 2. Let's lift up and hold for little pulses. 10 and 9. Lift. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Lift and hold for 5. Hold for 4. Maybe lift higher for 3, 2, and 1. Come down and push back to a child's pose. Again, hips to the heels. And for an extra juicy stretch, I take my hands to my heels and then round my spine. Forehead or top of head actually reaches down to the mat as my ribs lift up to the ceiling. And then roll yourself up. We're doing saw now. So for saw, I'm taking my legs a little bit wider than the mat, flexing the feet and reaching the arms out to the side. From here, I lift tall, I twist my ribs to the right, and I dive myself down, rounding the spine, reaching pinky finger to opposite toe. I'm going to rotate my palm to face up to the ceiling, roll up, and then come center. So inhale, twist. Exhale to round down. Inhale, roll up, and exhale, come center. Again, inhale, lift and twist. Exhale, round down. Inhale, up. Exhale, center. Last one. Inhale, lift a twist. Wide arms. Twist from your ribs, not your hips. Round yourself down. Pinky finger to opposite toe. Roll up. And exhale, come to center. Rest the arms. Now, for our grand finale, just a nice side bend stretch. So, find a comfortable seated position. Again, if you need to prop yourself up on a pillow, feel free. I'm reaching my arms wide to the side. I start to shift to the right. Fingertips touch, elbow touches. I side bend, looking up toward the ceiling, keeping my left hip, my opposite hip pressing down. And then with strength and purpose, lift up to your wide arms. And again, I'm reaching over to the left, fingertips touch, elbow touches, palm faces the floor as I look up to the ceiling. Nice side stretch, keeping that right hip pressing down. And then come up. And again, up and over to the right. And then come up. Last one, up and over to the right. And then come all the way up. Rest your arms. And you are finished. Thank you so much for joining me. Again, my name is Zola. Please subscribe to my channel. If you like this video, hit that like button. And I will see you next time.